What's up, everybody? My name is Corey. This is the Four Fouls Podcast. Tune in, don't foul out.
Yeah.
All right. Listen. We back another week. Episode 1 was dope. Again, my name is Corey with my other co-hosting game players. We got my boy CJ.
Yo, what's up? I think that Michael Parsons is going to be the defensive player of the year and the rookie of the year. So
bold.
That's
coming off hot and bold. Devontae, you looking real funny, but go ahead and let them know who you is.
That's wild. It's your boy Devontae Washington, aka D Black. No, I'm just playing. What's good, y'all? My hot take will be Mac Jones is the most pro ready in this draft, and I do believe he will start probably about mid-season. But no hate, even though I got my Cam jersey on.
About to say, sounding like a true Patriots fan.
Yes, sir.
Luis, what's up?
What's up, guys? My hot take is the New Orleans Saints are the biggest loser in this draft.
We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. If you are new to our show, this is a debate/game show. We do have a couple of sounds. If somebody is making a good point, we give them this. If somebody is ready to just duke it out with somebody else because they said something stupid, then we got to give them the boxing bells. You know what I'm saying? And if there's ever a time we have to give somebody a foul, we blow the whistle on them. So if you hear those sounds, then you know what it is. Are y'all ready to get into it, fellas?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right. So first quarter, we're going to talk pop culture and entertainment. So the topic of discussion is the Mambacita clothing line drop. All right. Any thoughts on that? Devontae, we starting with you.
Heat. Hey, Kobe's legacy. RIP Mamacita and RIP Kobe Bryant. That is really dope. Something that we discussed last weekend on the last segment was, Kobe and, the Mamba brand is about to probably go off and drift for themselves. So why not go ahead and start with this clothing line? I definitely feel like it's going to hit. We're going to pay our respects. Baby girl, my daughter's definitely going to get some if they got some in her size. If you do hear this, Vanessa, please make some. But that'd be really dope. I'm really excited for the family. Just something to continue their legacy. And yeah, it's exciting news. So.
All right, I definitely feel that. What you got, CJ?
All love, bro. All love. I think it was an amazing situation where they launched it on what would have been Gigi's 15th birthday. I have nothing negative to say. It's all for the memorialization. I don't even know if that's a real word, but it's all for just the love and memory of Kobe and Gigi. So I love it. I want to see them continue to flourish. I love that the Warriors team came into the game that same night wearing the apparel. I think that was beautiful, and I love to see the support. So I love it.
Bet. I was almost gonna give you a foul for that, but you said you already recognized that it wasn't a real word, so it is what it
Grammarly.
is.
Come on.
Oh yeah,
with the SAT word.
Grammar police right here. Luis, thoughts?
I think it's wonderful. Carrying on that legacy and preserving Kobe Bryant and the Mamacita. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. So I think I really enjoy, the developments that are coming up with Kobe Bryant. I think it's a unique way to preserve the legacy, to keep him, within culture, because he meant so much to our culture.
All right, I feel that one definitely. I did enjoy how Golden State was wearing it coming into the game. I have seen a little bit of people online that were like, I really want to love this, but I'm gonna support anyway. So apparently it's sold out. It's gonna keep selling out. And if you got girls out there or anybody who want to wear it, go ahead and get you some. All right, next topic. This one, is a topic of debate. Okay, Logan Paul versus Mayweather. So my question is, what are your predictions? Are you buying it? Is this good for boxing? Logan Paul versus Mayweather. CJ, I'm starting with you.
I don't think it's good for boxing, but it is what's needed probably for boxing. I think the problem within boxing is that promoters have controlled the sport for far too long. They've kept fights that we've been wanting to see off of many many fight cards, and it's caused it to really hinder the growth and development of boxing in the world. You know, obviously when Mayweather's gonna fight, we're gonna watch it. That's obviously something that we're gonna tune in and want to see. But to see amateurs, people who are not a part of boxing culture or the boxing world, come in and kind of take over the shine off of people who deserve it. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. You're talking about people like Earl Spence Jr., Crawford. I still want to see these individuals lead boxing in the future when it comes to pay-per-view buys and actually setting the tone for the narrative within the boxing world. And I think it's unfortunate. I for sure think that Logan is going to get knocked out. And at the same point in time, I for sure am going to see that they're probably going to break a record buy or something like that because of this. So it's not good, but it's probably what's going to be the next 4 or 5 years of boxing until promoters get the hell out of the way. So,
Okay, Luis, do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts?
I disagree. I think it's fantastic for boxing. I think this is the entertainment piece that they're lacking. All the boxers that you mentioned, CJ, are great in their regards, but they're not fighting Floyd. So, and we are attracted to Floyd, and then the Logan Paul attached to it just makes it a little bit more of, you know, an exhibition, just trying to see what it is. Floyd Mayweather said, hey, he's probably going to make $100 million off of this. I think that's great for him. Get your money up, man. It's an exhibition match. It's not going to go on your record. And on top of that, you're going to bring people closer to the sport. You know, that's just the truth.
All right, I feel that. He is money Mayweather, so he definitely will get his million. But, you know, Devontae, what you got? You splitting it?
So shockingly, I will have to disagree like Luis. At first, even in the group chat, we were saying, I was like, yo, what is this? Embarrassing. CJ with the exclamation point. You know, we agreeing. And I seen something by the great coach Anthony. He's a great trainer. So obviously I'm a really big boxing fan. I keep up with boxing a lot. And he said, boxing fans, you guys kill me. So a man can dedicate his whole life to the sport, become the best at it, show all the other fighters that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. Then when he retires, he can't make money by still entertaining us. It's never enough. And it hit me so hard, bro. I was like, no, why am I agreeing with this, man? But like, honestly, you know, Floyd has done so much for the sport. If it wasn't for Floyd Money Mayweather, boxing would not still be like that relevant. And that's no disrespect to some of the greatest fighters. For me as a fan, I'm watching bottom of the barrel people just not getting started fighting because I just love boxing, but that's not the same energy for everybody. So like Luis said, he's bringing a new crowd, Logan Paul fans, which wasn't he on Nickelodeon at one point? Like you're getting a younger generation coming up. You're getting a younger generation coming up to get into boxing. So the sport is definitely going to grow. We're going to get a lot of new fans. Am I the biggest agreement with the fighter? Probably not. He's getting dropped. He's getting dropped. I can put some money on that. I think Logan's definitely getting dropped. What?
All right, CJ and then Luis.
I have to say that, yes, are we being attracted to the spectacle of Floyd Mayweather? Yeah. But are we attracted to the sport of boxing anymore? Because this ain't an athlete versus an athlete. This is a supreme, amazing Hall of Fame boxer versus a scrub off the street, dog, who was only relevant because of his YouTube show. So are we excited about the boxing or the spectacle? And I think if you really look at it, it's the spectacle. It's not actually the boxing. Like, we're not actually going to sit here and say, this is about to go 4 to 5 rounds of real legitimate boxing. No, we're going to see somebody flailing arms and Floyd, who's the greatest defensive boxer ever, just dodge everything. So to me, this is just, I get it. Like, yes, is it going to grow the sport's interest? Sure. But is it really going to do anything for the people who actually legitimately put the time and effort into learning how to box? No, it's not. This isn't it. This is not what we need to see.
But quickly,
if this was the Olympics, bro, if this is the Olympics, bro, if Logan made it to the Olympics and this is a fight, then okay. But this is, nah, bro.
There's no titles on the line. There's no titles on the line.
It's an exhibition match.
It's not that deep. That's why I've calmed down. But go ahead, Luis.
But listen, CJ is out here signing like 1928. Back in my day, we ran Pistol Pete offense out, and we ran with 300-pound running backs up the middle. And I just don't like the air raid offense. That's what you sound like, man. Just let people enjoy. Like Floyd Mayweather's 44 years old, man. You know, he's going up against a 26-year-old. Floyd is clearly the more skilled technique. He's proven that. We're not here looking for a boxing match. We're here for two dudes to scrap and hopefully Logan Paul get beat up. But listen, it's great for the sport. You know why? Because who else is entertaining? Give me another boxer who's entertaining.
Canelo Alvarez.
Spence Jr.
Foul this man
Alvarez.
immediately.
Floyd
Come
Mayweather.
on,
bro.
Canelo Alvarez. Tyson Fury. He's fighting for Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting for Cinco de Mayo.
I forgot he got one up.
Foul this man immediately. Hold on. One of the best pound boxers in this sport right now.
Time out though. And this is where I'm getting at. How many ticket sales are they comparing to this? And I want to bring up the box office numbers. I want to see how many exhibition fights have gone higher. That's what I'm trying to get y'all understand. These boxers are really strictly fighting within fights they know they can win, that look good for their record, and then eventually putting stuff out later on. That's what boxing is. We don't get the fights that we did back in the day. That's not boxing anymore.
Thank you. You just walked into my point of promoters have controlled this sport for too long. They keep
Ain't nobody
fights
disagree
from
with
the
that.
fight card that needs to be
Ain't
on.
nobody disagree with that.
I know,
You
but
just
that's
sound
what I'm trying
old.
to say.
That's what I'm trying to get you.
I'm
You just
trying to
sound
say.
old.
That's the reason why things like this are a hindrance to boxing, because the more we let, maybe it's a good thing, because ultimately if this is what gets promoters out of the way so we can see the fights that we want, then awesome. I would love for that to happen, but I don't see that happening. I see now a new crop of individuals coming into the boxing arena who are taking away the shine from individuals who have put their lives on the line and dedicated every ounce of sweat and tears and blood to this sport. And that is why I'm saying it's a bad thing, because ultimately it's not boxers that we're watching. It's entertainers fighting a retired boxer that is the promoting like atmosphere.
But he can't pursue his dream and start picking up boxing?
All right. The one point I did not hear from y'all is that maybe boxers have wisened up. That's why we're not seeing the fights that we have seen in the past. It moved from being very prideful to now just being about money. So you're going for the money grab. Anyway, we're going to move out of the boxing realm, and we are going to go a little bit more on the entertainment side. So this past weekend, the Oscars was a thing. Even though they had like the lowest ratings that they've ever had, or they've had in the longest time. One of the big storylines was that Daniel Kaluuya won. He won an Academy Award, and then also our boy, rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman did not. So my question is this storyline much to do about nothing? What the hell is going on with the Oscars?
I mean, the biggest thing that I have an issue with is why is Daniel and Lakeith, I believe, is that Lakeith. Thank you, Lakeith, are in the same category as supporting actors, when it's clear that one had a leading role and that was his campaign. But I read an article by the Washington Post, and this is the biggest quote that like took me out. The Academy has the freedom to choose which acting category a performer belongs to, regardless of their Oscar campaign. And I think that is extremely problematic. When you add a lot of context from right now, from those movies, and then those personal lives of those actors, I just think it's extremely interesting. The Academy really messed this one up, because I feel like both of them should have won. But that's how I feel about it.
Okay, all right. Devontae, much to do about nothing?
I'm not. Question to do about nothing. Personally, R.I.P. Chadwick, I feel like he has won a lot of awards. His flowers have been given. Trust me, man. The way he went out, he went out peacefully between him and his family. R.I.P. He is definitely missed. That is our Black Panther. But the Oscars particularly, man, I know that probably was some funny business, but hey, our brother Fred Hampton got one. You know what I'm saying? Like the way Daniel Kaluuya, I can't say his name. Kaluuya. Ooh, dang, that was so bad. Yeah, the way he played that role, I really definitely think he deserved that. I was super excited to see that film. Taught me a lot, made me go do my research, do my history on that, and I was super excited. Chadwick did he won a Golden Globe for, what was the film he just did?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah. That was definitely really good, and I believe that's what people are expecting him to win an Oscar in as well. Understandable, but like he ended up being put up against like Daniel, Lakeith, a lot of other great black actors as well. So it does hurt to see him not finally, get that final piece that he needed to finish off his legacy. But I definitely think Chadwick's like not done. We will always see these roles and be able to remember and worship those things that he gave us. And so the Oscars is not the end of all for his legacy. Yeah, that's basically what I got to say. I think it's a fuss about nothing, but I do understand that people do have their arguments about what the Oscars do to certain actors in specific communities and things like that. But for this one, for Chadwick, he deserved it, but somebody else earned it as well. So
All right, I feel that. CJ?
I think the bigger question is why they decided to restructure the show the way that it is. So the controversy comes down to, why in the hell did you decide to put, one, you've never done this, Best Actor as the last award announced for the night? It's always the best film. That's always the cap, because that is what the Oscars is about, is talking about what's the best films of the year. And they kind of took the shine away from Chloe Zhao. And for her film, she won Best Film, she won Best Director. She's the first female in, I can't remember how many years, but it's been a couple decades since first female director of the year has happened. And so this is where the bigger issue comes from. You took the shine away from someone who should have ended off the show. That should have been her moment. And you did it because you thought that the award was going to go to Chadwick, but it's the Academy. You should already know who is going to probably win the award. And so basically you set this self up that, Anthony Hopkins, who had a really amazing performance in The Father. Like, it was a really well done film. And I think he deserved that award. I think both him and Chadwick did amazing, and Ma Rainey respectively for Chadwick and The Father for Hopkins. And so I don't have any grievance for him not getting the award, but you should have known better. You knew there was a chance that he might not win it. And the fact that you let it cap off on the night and then have this like deflating feeling at the end of the night when you're doing a memorial for him, knowing that that's what you were probably setting yourself up for. You were assuming that he was going to win so you could lead into it. It just bad taste in everybody's mouth. And this is what I really ultimately want to get to. Stop trying to capitalize on people's hardships and issues, right? Like, yes, we want to give Chadwick his flowers, but do it in the way that you always do it. If you really wanted him to end out the night, give him a posthumous honorary award for something else. But don't do it in a way that you change and restructure the show, because if this was the outcome, man, you just ruined the night and the year for this award ceremony. It's another black mark on another Oscars season. So that's my issue with it ultimately.
Ooh, that is tough. That is tough. They also were passing out Chadwick Boseman NFTs as memorabilia there as well. So I kind of feel like
wow.
Yeah.
See, good thing I turned it off. That was just nothing but a sign. Nolan was like, Daddy, can we watch Coco Melon? That's a bet.
That's a
It was out of
bad.
that field. Also, Luis, I believe that the reason why they were doing the supporting actor, best supporting actor for both of them, is because the film was staged as Judas and the Black Messiah. So it was supposed to be a film that was focused like on both of them. So it was even in the title. That's why they put Lakeith as being Judas and then Daniel as being, that's
how convenient.
Essentially why. But I do agree that they both did such a great job. They probably both should have shared their award. But that's neither here nor there. While we are staying on films, I feel as if there's a kind of a theme going around right now just about capitalizing off of black trauma in films. And there seems to be a lot of people who are not effing with it. So my question is, are we done with that? Like, is black culture tired of black trauma in film? And Devontae, I'm gonna start with you. How do you feel about it?
Tired. Yeah, done. I mean, it's a part of our history, bro, but I've seen enough, man. Like, I can remember some films and TV shows, good example, Rosewood, that have just scarred me for life, bro. Like, I'm tired. We moved on. I'm not saying it's done. It is still here. We are still acting on it, and we still got a lot of work to do. But when I turn on the TV and I'm kicking back, I'm not trying to watch that all the time. My kid's gonna have plenty of film to watch to learn about that. Trust and believe. So to continue it on, just to, I don't know. I don't think they're intentionally trying to make us feel bad. I think they're just, opportunists going off of times and things that we're going through. But enough is enough. Let's be positive. Give us more, positive representation and just uplifting and diversity within just all people. So it ain't gotta look like we're just depressed or continue to be oppressed in like the limelight. Like, let us enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my quick take on it. I am definitely tired of it. So,
all right. What about you, CJ?
I mean, yeah, I'm sick and tired of it. I think black people in our culture, we have always understood our traumatic experiences are oftentimes shared. And we know that, we see that. We don't need films to help us understand or digest our own trauma. I think, though, the issue isn't that black culture is tired of it, is that white culture is not. I think that's the people who are putting on for the films, who are running the production companies and, funding these films and projects to be released. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not going to sit here and say the quality of the cinematic experience is bad. Like, yes, you've made a good product, but like, it's something that is unnecessary. Like, the art is no longer relevant to the conscience of the black body anymore. We want to see uplifting stories. We see too many traumatic experiences every day when we wake up. We turn on the film and it shows the same thing that we're seeing when we go on Twitter. I'm tired of it. I can't sit through another 2.5 hours of things that I already experienced myself, man. I just think it's played out. So, simply put, it's just, yeah.
All right. Luis, as being somebody who is not specifically black, how do you feel about this topic?
I'm going to echo what Devonta and CJ have said, but I want to contribute and say that black trauma films won't stop until we change our own realities. And that speaks on the systemic racisms, the issues that we have in this world. At the end of the day, film is an outlet for us to express our trauma and pain. And black trauma, as the genre itself, black film producers have utilized it through a sci-fi lens to tell stories about the issues within communities. As long as those issues continue to be at hand, these films are gonna continue to happen because they're monetizing on a marginalized community, and they're monetizing it so the people that should be telling these stories are not telling these stories, in my opinion. To the extent that it should be raw and authentic and really should drive that message of racism, of the black experience. But at the end of the day, black culture is American culture. And that's just a reflection of ourselves.
Okay. All right. It got thick there for a second. I got my own thoughts, but I don't think I have enough time to share on that. But we do want to stay in film real quick, and we are all very huge comic nerds and everything else. So, how are y'all feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? How excited are you for the Loki series? I'm gonna start with you, Luis. You just ended it. Let's start with you.
I'm extremely excited. I love seeing live action comics being brought to life. I think that's the little kid in me. It's just seeing my childhood being put on a screen. Loki is one of my favorite Marvel characters. So just for him to have his own series, the way they did WandaVision, the Winter Soldier, all great in their remarks. So I'm extremely excited to see how Marvel continues to expand the universe, and the fact that they're utilizing movie budgets for these TV shows just makes it more of a bang, because they have to maintain the quality of the movies, and that's so exciting for me. So I know it's going to be heat. I know that there's going to be great writing and great development, and those little snippets that they give you after the show or in between episodes, that contribute to the larger picture in movies, all for it.
All right, CJ, what you got?
10, absolutely 10. Y'all know me. Y'all know how much of a nerd I am. I can speak through comic book history in a pretty deep lens. And I'm just so excited about taking this shit to the multiverse, bro. I'm like, this is going to open up so many pockets of reality and different characters coming into play. And I think it's going to be one of the best experiences that Disney Plus will probably ever make. And I am for certain going to be watching everything like as soon as it drops. So, you know, I might live stream it. I might do that because it's just, woo, bro. It's going to be something. I cannot wait.
Let's do it.
Ric Flair.
Not the Ric Flair. Devontae, scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Loki?
So 1 through 10 on excitement, please hear me out. Excitement, I give it a 7. Only because I get so attached to shows. I remember when WandaVision first came out, I was like, yo, what is this? But I'm glued. After finishing, I'm like, yo, there can't be nothing better. And I'm not saying this is better, but I'm like, there can't be nothing to catch my attention again like this. And then Falcon Winter Soldier came out, and I'm like, yo, this is so cold. Like, why did it have to end already? And, you know, got to be patient with an episode every week. And so you just get so attached. And then it's like, all right, now you got to wait for the Loki series. It's like, no, give me season 2 of Falcon Winter Soldier. Oh, wait, no, actually, I want the WandaVision that I was supposed to get back the other. But, you know, we got to wait on production and all that stuff. And so I'm excited because we're getting another Marvel show. Like CJ was saying, the multiverse is about to be super expanded. We're about to see so many people. Like, I mean, if y'all haven't really like kept up with all like the Comic-Cons and all these fairs, bro, we about to get Groot, all this stuff, bro. Like Captain Marvel is super exciting. So Loki's gonna be super dope. He's obviously one of the most mischief villains that we've seen, but he tries to make himself as a superhero as well. So it's gonna be really exciting to see in Loki as well. And I'm not saying he is a superhero, so don't foul me out. Luis looking petty.
One more thing, homie. Right now, in production, Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight. If y'all don't know what that is, look it up, bro. It's heat. It is heat, bro. It basically Batman with some superpowers is essentially what that is. So
come on, bro. I know what that is.
Go ahead.
But we was like, Batman don't have superpower? No, he did not. We're not gonna talk about that.
Don't get Corey started.
Talk about that.
Shout out to Corey TikTok followers.
Here we go. Hey, that's the end of the first quarter, bro. So we're gonna move to the second, but I ain't gonna tell you who's in the lead. CJ, you got 14 points. Devontae, you got 7. Luis, you got 8. At the end of the first quarter. So, you know, I said 14. My bad, bro. You got 9. CJ, you got 9 points.
I'm about to say, dang, bro, you about to drop 20
I'm about to say, like, I feel like he really not spinning today.
No, he got 9. So it's 9, CJ 9, Luis 8, and Devontae 7. So it's pretty tight up in there. So second quarter is all about sports, okay? Sports news. And we're going to jump it off, obviously, with the NFL draft. It happened. We were on the phone a lot. You know, I fell asleep early, but we're not going to talk about it. So my question to y'all is, and I'm going to start with Devontae, I'm going to start with you first. What was one, like, shocking first-round pick, or what team surprised you throughout the draft?
So there were a couple of big eye moments where I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe it, but I kind of expected it. But what I did not expect was the Saints to not trade up and really go for a quarterback. Like, it's just, I'm just honest. Like, there's not even a specific pick. If I had to pick an exact pick that shocked me, it was Trey Lance going number 3, because the big hype was on, like, Mac Jones. So if I have to go an actual player, like a specific player, I didn't believe that the 49ers was really going to do it, and they did it. So that's really cool. But, like, I'm just really shocked the Saints did not trade up to get anybody. Like, the hype just didn't seem to follow Jameis at this moment. It seemed like they're regretting the Taysom Hill signing at this moment. You know, eating W's, that's cool and all, but I thought they were going to splash for a really big player. I thought Surtain would have been a Saint before he would have been a Bronco, or even a Cowboy, something like a good linebacker. But instead, they got a defensive end out of Houston. So, hey, not downplaying that man, just didn't hear too much about him, and he could be hell of a sleeper, but we shall see. You know, Luis is the fan of that team, so we'll let him comment on that situation.
Yeah, Luis, being that we talking about the Saints, what was your moment in the draft?
My moment in the draft, listen, what brought me fear was when the Panthers drafted J.C. Horn. That was a great pickup for them. That is a fantastic pickup. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, the Saints were the biggest losers of this draft. Now I'm going to tell you why. We drafted a defensive end out of Houston, 6'6", 240, I believe. same build as Cameron Jordan and Davenport, right? When is he going to play? We just picked up Davenport's 5th-year option. We lack interior defensive line, so are we going to move him to defensive tackle? And if so, you have the defensive tackle from Alabama on the board that the Patriots ended up drafting in the 2nd round.
Yes,
right? Are we going to move him to an edge outside linebacker when the boy from Georgia was still there in the 2nd round? There was better linebackers to be drafted from both from Penn State and Notre Dame. Elijah Moore was still there, and I understand we still need to replace Emmanuel Sanders, but you draft talent. The Saints, the only pick that makes sense to me is the 3rd round, because even in the 2nd round, we drafted a linebacker, Pete Werner, right? Pete Werner's extremely undersized, and he is what he is. I don't see him developing that much, but in the system, he makes sense, right? But he's not a standout player. This corner, I'm extremely excited about, but we traded 3 third-round picks for 1 third-round pick. That's the move that we moved up. And what's crazy is the Saints have moved up 21 times in the last 14 seasons, and we decided to move up in the 3rd round when we lack so much defensively. We have 2 corners. Corey, I feel like I made 10 points, bro.
Nah, because I almost got you, bro. Let me tell you why. I almost got you. Because so if you're going, this is how I'm seeing it. If you're talking about,
hold up, but let me finish because we still in round 4, bro. Ian Book. Listen, I don't know if Sean Payton likes drafting quarterbacks out of Indiana that are under 6 feet, but here we are. And then an O-line in the 6th round, I just think we none of these players are going to be. I'm going to put it this way. The Saints have a better chance of drafting in the top 10 than they do making the playoffs. And that's where we are right now. I feel like we're about to be in the bottom of the NFC South because Carolina is coming. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are running it back. And the Falcons just picked up one of the best prospects in this draft. And on top of that, in the 2nd round, they picked up the best safety that I think, in my opinion. So, as a Saints fan, I'm extremely disappointed because none of these make sense. I've looked at Cap. I looked at, I don't know. I try to figure it out and look what Sean Payton is trying to do. But even the analysts are shaking their head. I'm like, I don't know. We just gonna see.
The Falcons still gonna be the Falcons. So
no,
we always be 3rd.
Okay. The Saints were always the Saints. So I mean that doesn't matter. We were the Aints at one point. That has nothing to do with anything. When you have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, they drafted the Falcons.
Did they have Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley last year and the year before that? And the year they lost in the Super Bowl to the Patriots?
Injuries.
Okay.
And
They have
coaching. Now they have Kyle Pitts though.
Fools.
So wait. In the Super Bowl, who was their tight end?
Hurst.
No.
Hayden Hurst?
No, not in the Super Bowl.
Wasn't it
Hopper?
Austin Hopper.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Anyway, let me tell you why I almost fouled you. I didn't foul you because it ended up making sense. That's why I didn't give you no points either. Your first thing was, when is he going to play? You recognize defensive players work in rotation, right? Especially
This the NFL.
I understand.
He gonna get minutes.
Great. I mean, we drafted Trade Henderson too, who just left. I get that, and he.
But you're saying why you shouldn't have drafted in the 1st round?
In the 1st round, when we had better
options. That's why
options.
I did not give you a foul. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't. Because I'll finna give you that I'll finna give you that foul. But I said, all right. You talking about the 1st round? I'll give it to you. But yeah, just because you won an extra point, I'll give you another one. There you go.
Not because I wanted it.
Because he wanted another.
I made points. Listen, let's talk about the Eagles. How about that?
Oh, we can talk about the Eagles. We can talk about the Eagles. They got a C+. They did terrible. They drafted terrible.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they
They
didn't.
did decently.
I'm sorry, CJ.
They were decent.
Real quick.
Let me go.
Decent? Yeah, decent. Because a C+ is decent. 77 on a grade out of 100 is a decent grade. So yes, you would be correct. I'm giving them a C+ because that's what they deserve. They literally had the 6th pick and traded it to get back to the 12th. Right? And then recognize, well, we're idiots because now we're behind the Giants and Dallas. And so Dallas said, we gonna get who we want to get anyway because we can't get Surtain, right? Surtain got off the board. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the highest bidder between the Giants and the Eagles, and I'm going to get what I want. So the Eagles had to be stupid and now jump to 10 when they already had the 6th pick.
Hold on.
Number one.
No, hold on. Let me rebuttal to that because the Giants were going to pick up Devontae Smith, and that's why the Eagles. Yes, they were.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the Giants ended up picking a receiver in the 1st round.
That's why the Eagles are stupid. That's why the Eagles are stupid. That's what I'm trying to say.
They got 3 first rounds next season.
You said what?
They got 3 first rounders next season. 3 first
But
round
what
picks.
does that mean? Okay, even if it was, we trying to win now.
No, y'all not in no position to win now.
Everybody,
they're
why do
in
you
the
draft?
NFC East.
Why do you think?
I understand the conference is trash or the division's trash, but
you draft to improve your team now.
they
That's
did.
literally why the worst teams get the best draft picks. Because you want to improve your team now.
Are you trying to win a Super Bowl next season?
Yes.
If you're not, then why are you in the league?
If you thought the draft was going to get you
This
there?
makes so much sense that he's a Saints fan because he think like that, and that's why.
No. Time out. You're saying that a draft is going to make you to it's going to make or break you to the Super Bowl?
It could
Yeah,
make or break you
what?
to the Super Bowl. Yes,
Are you really don't think that's the case?
bro. Think about this, bro. Think
In
about
the
this.
Eagles'
Even if it
position.
was-
In the Eagles' position. Let's put some more context.
It's not even just the Eagles; it's the NFL, bro. You draft to go to the bowl
to
to
the
win
top.
You trust the
There's been
process.
drafts
thing-
that made those changes for those
process,
teams.
I
Yes,
think
bro.
the
Exactly.
biggest thing that's missing from the
go ahead.
conversation is the fact that the NFC East, when they go to the Super Bowl, oftentimes are the worst, like first round or worst first seed or whatever. Like they're never the top team in the
never.
league when they go to the Super Bowl.
Even when we got home field advantage, we won the
Yes.
Super Bowl, had home field advantage
Yes.
throughout the entire playoffs, and we're not the top seed, underdog every single game.
Exactly.
I can argue that underdog. I to this day hate that statement. That makes me so mad.
All right,
anyway,
Pats fan,
okay.
Go ahead, bro. What was your moment?
All
What was your big moment that you were like, what the hell, or what team surprised you?
At 17, the Raiders selected Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. A good player. But at 17, they selected Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama when he wasn't even mocked into the top 40 picks. And it's a continuing trend for the Raiders. They have a guy, and they're going to get their guy no matter where in the draft they are at. And it's so frustrating because of the talent they missed. They had, and I'm going to give them this. I'll give them this. They drafted Alex Leatherwood at 17. They made it up by giving Trevor Moehrig in the second round because who they should have drafted at 17. And I get the idea of getting your guy, but it just seems like Gruden is very sporadic in how he puts his board. Like the people who he lists are people who he just likes, not necessarily the best players available or even the best players at their position, because I don't think Alex Leatherwood was the best tackle that was left at that point in time. Like there was other people who I would have picked before him. And I think going forward, I really am wanting to take a look at the Raiders season, because this may be the make it or break it season for the Raiders. Like truthfully, I think if they don't do well, Gruden might lose his drafting powers over the next couple of years, and that is something that is going to stir the pot in the NFC West. So it's very interesting to see. But I would say the team that's like really surprised me, it was the Cowboys. And I mean, I'm not saying that as a Cowboys fan. It's like
to foul your
no, bro.
For real.
As a person who knows how the Cowboys draft, the fact that they went full defensive shift is something they've never done. They selected the most defensive players in any draft in the modern NFL, like for the Cowboys, I should say. Like that is not something like Jerry loves his offensive players. He loves the splash. He loves the high scoring games. He does not. He is not. He was given the doomsday defense of the 80s and 90s. Like that was a Jimmy Johnson build. It was not a Jerry Jones draft. And once he started actually sitting in the room and picking the players, we've not had that defense since. And so it was very surprising. Like I could see us going defense in the first 2 rounds, but then it was like the 3rd round, the 4th round, the 5th round, the 6th round, and then like the 7th round is when we took our second tackle of the day. And I just looked at it and said, this looks like a completely new team. Like next year, we're going to hit training camp and that defense is going to be remodeled. And I think that the biggest reason why is because we have a person named Dan Quinn in the office who is he's swinging his thing around, bro. He's really holding his weight in the Cowboys front office, and it's kind of interesting because Mike McCarthy wasn't on some of those scouting trips for the top couple players that they picked. So we might end up seeing a new little splice of drama within the Cowboys front office between Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy that might resemble a 185 Bears, if you remember. So,
listen, CJ, I don't know what Cowboys you watching, but let me just go ahead and tell you. Last year's draft, y'all had 6 picks. 4 out of 6 were defensive players.
okay.
The year before that, you had 7 picks. 5 out of the 7 were defensive players.
Okay.
Bro. What? They pick defensive players all the time.
No,
go
you're not listening.
in the-
You're not listening. You're not listening. I said to the degree of they pick defensive players because they defensive sucks every year. That's why they have
That's
to pick
true.
defensive players. They wouldn't.
So they're picking good
the
players
first
this
pick,
season.
the first round pick they had last year, they picked CeeDee Lamb when everyone was saying go safety.
Facts.
Everyone was saying go safety, and they picked CeeDee Lamb. And so don't get me wrong, they pick defensive players because they have to fill the holes that they continuously have each year when they go into the offseason. Like it's
That's
not
true.
something that they want to do. It's something that they have to do. And I'm sorry, I might be stealing a conversation for later, but like trust me, like you say it.
We'll get into it.
You say it, but like yeah, we'll talk.
We'll get into it.
It was a
Level
defensive
time.
heavy draft for the Cowboys.
It was. I
definitely.
think-
Dak even
It's always
mentioned
a-
it before. Dak said we have to go defense, and I definitely think it's championship or bust for Dallas, bro.
I don't
it really
think that
is.
It's been championship
No.
or bust since '96.
It is. And
95.
bro, y'all know I can't stand the Cowboys, but bro,
You
they
lied.
are
Quincy Carter was
championship
our
or
quarterback
bust.
one year.
And y'all were
Bro,
still
but
thinking y'all can make it.
Thank you. I'm about to say. Thank you. Thank you. Time out, bro.
Oh my gosh, bro.
There has not been a year. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Be
As a
honest, bro.
As a Philadelphia Eagle fan that grew up in Arlington, Texas, there has not been a year on the slate where I didn't hear the majority of Cowboy fans talking about this is the year. This is it.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's
bro.
every
Not
fan.
even
I
when
don't
they
get
had
this.
Quincy.
That's every
Literally.
fandom, bro.
No, it's not.
Every
No,
fandom
it's
knows.
not.
No,
No, it's
it's
not.
Who say
Y'all
No,
are
it's
just-
not.
listen.
I'm not talking about the randos, bro. I'm talking about the majority of the base, bro. The majority of the base be this is our year. Every
You
year.
see a 12? You see a 2 next to this one?
Well,
I ain't
y'all
worried,
don't say
Brady.
that.
I knew we was done.
Y'all don't say
We
that
was not
because
going
y'all so
back.
used to winning, Devontae. Okay, y'all so used to
Okay.
winning, and the Saints don't say nothing because they used to be the Aints. But for the Cowboys, bro, every year growing up, this is the year. I'm like, bro, what? What happened last? Okay,
I'm telling you, that's the casuals, bro. I'm in too many forums and conversations with actual, like, legitimate
me.
Cowboy fans
Not
who follow the
exclusive
team.
clubs.
So
I'm in
yeah.
the-
I mean,
Hey,
I
I'm in
got,
the
I
Pats
got my
club.
homies who
I'm
we
in the
talk
Pats
over.
club.
We talk over
I'm in the
Cowboy
Pats
shit.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
in the club too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you, Chad, and a couple other people. The rest of the Cowboy fans delusional.
Chad
right.
be delusional too.
And now
Next
shout out to
topic.
my boy Stephen. He ain't crazy either. He don't be talking. He talks sense. He talks sense.
All right.
He
Maybe
do. He do.
we can bring them on the show if they talk sense. All
Oh,
right,
yeah, we
since we
definitely-
talking about drafts and picks and offense or defense, let me ask you this question. I think this is a dope question. If you had to go top 5 greatest number 1 pick since 2000, who's your top 5? Since 2000, number 1 picks, who's your greatest? Who want to go first?
Do we have to do order?
Yes, I want your order. CJ, go first.
All right. If we're going order,
Let's
I'ma
go 5 to 1. 5 to 1.
Mahomes at 10th. He was the 10th overall pick in his draft. He is
5.
he was ridiculously picked after Watson and homeboy who I can't remember his name because that's how bad he was. And then A-Rod at 24th, Aaron Donald at 13th, Troy Polamalu at 16th, and Ed Reed at 24th. Those are all Hall of Famers who too many teams passed on them that should have got them. And yeah,
Sheesh. So you think Ed Reed number 1? Most disrespected pick?
I think he shouldn't have dropped that far. I think the most disrespected pick was
Pat
A-Rod. No, A-Rod. Aaron Rodgers. He was coming out the gate. He should have been either 2nd overall, 3rd overall that year, and he went 24th. Like that was the pick that I was like, what? So
All right. What about you, Devontae? Do
No,
number
Cap,
5 all the way down to number 1.
And this is hold on. Okay, so let me back it up. I thought it was number 1 draft picks.
Well, number 1 pick, number 1 draft picks, interchangeable. Number 1 picks could be first
Okay,
round, number
cool,
1 pick
cool,
for the
cool.
team, or it could
My
be
number
1
ones
draft picks.
overall since the 2000s till now. I'm gonna have number 5 will be Andrew Luck. like number one overalls. Like this
Dang.
was a successful quarterback. Sadly, he did retire a little bit early, but hey, he balled out. Number 4 for me will have to be, who else did I have on the list? I don't think y'all gonna like this one. Myles Garrett. He's balling. Number 4 is Myles Garrett for me as a number 1 overall pick right now. Myles Garrett has legit been a part of the process of Cleveland, the culture that has changed up there. He was looking a little wild on draft day, but
Swinging helmets as a premises.
at your OK State boy. But he's definitely made a big splash in Cleveland. Dude leads the league in sacks dang near every year. Just probably not number 1, but I know he's pretty close last year if I'm not mistaken. Number 3, I will have to say, I don't know if this is a reach, and I'm willing to take a foul for this, but Matthew Stafford. He's stuck with the Lions franchise, bro. Say what you want to say, but Matthew Stafford is a number 1 overall pick out of Georgia, and he's stuck with the Detroit Lions franchise as long as he could. Was he the best winner? No. Is he the most winningest quarterback they've had? Yes, without a doubt. Matthew Stafford is the most winningest quarterback that Detroit has had, and he needs to deserve his credit that is due. So that's my number 3. Number 2, I will have to say Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney was a freaking beast coming out of South Carolina. Yes, that hit was the big clout chaser for him that got him drafted, but the dude continued on to, ball out. And I think he was definitely a really good number 1 pick for the Houston Texans organizations. Sadly, he did have to move on, and I believe he now plays for the Cleveland Browns. Wow. Him and Myles Garrett on the same Cleveland sleeper. And then number 1 overall, and it's again just my list, my opinion, your boy Mike Vick. Sadly, he did have his legal issues that, deteriorated his career a little bit, but the man was a true baller and a great quarterback for the Falcons and the Philly Eagles. Did he win them a ship? No, but you cannot tell me he didn't spice up the Eagles locker room when he was there. So number 1 picks, those are my lists.
Interesting list there, but it's your list, Luis. I'm scared to ask you who your top 5 number 1 picks from 2000 on is.
All right, so at number 5, we got one of the greatest running backs I've ever seen in my life, Adrian Peterson. Number 4, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is I think he can go down as one of the greatest interior defensive linemen of all time.
He's probably going to go down as the greatest defensive player of all time. But
knock your ass out if you see you in the club, too.
Number 3 is going to be Ed Reed. Coldest safety, man. Number 2 is going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
All right. And then number 1 is one of the best defensive ends out there, and it's J.J. Watt. And I think he is just a monster. 3-time defensive player of the year. I mean, the resume speaks for himself. Those are my top 5. Honorable mentions, though, Larry Fitzgerald, because I think he's one of the best receivers, and also Calvin Johnson.
Man,
but that's just me.
So you're saying J.J. Watt is the greatest number 1 pick since year 2000?
Yes.
He's not number 1, was he? Was he?
He was just in the first round. He was just in the first round.
He was just in the first round.
Yeah,
I did number 1 picks. I did number 1.
Yeah, I did first round.
Y'all did first round picks.
Yeah,
you and CJ did first round
Devontae, you're
picks.
saying the greatest number 1 pick ever
is Michael
since
Vick.
2000 is Michael Vick.
Yeah, and number 1 pick. That's just me.
And CJ, you saying your number 1 was Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, most disrespected. But if we're going down the list of who's the top number 1s, first off, y'all don't be disrespectful to Eli Manning, who's a two-time Super Bowl winner. Like, yes.
Who?
2-time Super Bowl winner. Bro, I'm a Cowboys fan saying number 1 pick. Listen, bro. Number 1.
Corey, do your thing.
Number 1 overall. Hold on. Whoa.
Back it up.
Time
You
out.
got it. Go ahead. Back
Number
it up.
1 overall pick. He might not go in the Hall of Fame, but when you compare it to people who are number 1 overall picks like Carson Palmer and there's a bunch of other people, but like you're talking about number 1 overall in the past 20 years, and you don't say Eli Manning's name like that. I give you Michael Vick. Don't get me wrong. I even give you Myles Garrett. I'll even give you what was Michael Garrett number 1? Yeah, he was number 1.
Yeah, he was. You want to hear the
and
list real quick before you go
Yeah,
on? It's
go
very
ahead.
short. 2000 number 1 overall picks. Number 1, not first round. Courtney Brown, defensive end, Penn State. Michael Vick, quarterback. Courtney Brown. I don't even know who that is. Michael Vick, quarterback, Virginia Tech. David Carr, quarterback, Fresno State. Carson
Trash.
Palmer, quarterback, USC.
Trash.
Eli Manning, quarterback, Ole Miss. Alex Smith, quarterback, Utah. Mario Williams, defensive end, North Carolina State. Jamarcus Russell, QB, LSU.
Trash.
Jake Long, tackle, Michigan.
Trash.
Matthew Stafford, quarterback, Georgia. Sam Bradford, Boomer Center, Oklahoma. Cam Newton, quarterback, Auburn. Andrew Luck, quarterback, Stanford. Eric Fisher, tackle, Central Michigan. Jadavian Clowney, defensive end, South Carolina. Jameis Winston, QB, Florida State. Jared Goff, QB, California. Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M. Baker Mayfield, QB, OU. Kyler Murray, QB, OU. Joe Burrow, LSU. Trev Lawrence, Clemson.
And you telling me
Those are
Eli
the
Manning
lists.
shouldn't be on the top of that list?
Eli Manning should be number 1 for sure. 2 Super Bowls. I don't believe any other
You're right.
quarterback that was drafted in the
Oh,
number
yeah,
1
definitely. Also,
has a
can you-
quarterback.
I'm a voluntarily give myself a foul. I disrespected my quarterback Cam Newton and did not put him on this list. So let me hear that real quick.
I'm like, well, you asked for it. You got it. There we go.
I'm so sorry, Cam. Slamming Cam Newton. Bam. Heisman man. You a dog, bro. You balled out in Carolina.
my gosh.
And even though Jake Delhomme did take him to the ship, you did too as well. You just didn't win it. But yeah, Cam Newton's definitely a great number 1 overall pick as well.
So who's a better
All
number
right.
1, Carson Palmer or Michael Vick?
Shut up. We move to the next question. 'Cause that's not even a real question. I should give you a foul for
taking
asking
Vic.
that. I should give you a foul for asking that. Boy,
Hey,
what do you
listen,
mean?
247 Sports has Carson Palmer ranked better than Michael Vick. That's why I just had to ask.
I mean, he's a better
247 Sports is-
quarterback.
I
He's
don't
a
believe
better
that.
quarterback. I like Michael Vick better. I'd rather have Michael Vick on my team. I'd rather bro, if we take away Michael Vick's situations that he's went through, bro, imagine the career he would have had, bro.
This
How
man wasn't
athletic-
even reading the playbook in Atlanta.
Bro,
He wasn't watching film.
just pulled
That's why-
up.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He was pulling up the games, balling.
That's not a good thing.
playing 7-on-7 football.
No, here's what I'm trying to say, bro. Here's why I say that it
gotta
would be
study
to
the
his legacy.
playbook.
Nah, bro. Imagine. Here's the difference. You had Jamarcus Russell who did the same thing. Didn't even watch the damn DVD. That had no plays on it, but told his coach he did. That's some shit that Michael Vick was doing, but Mike Vick was still putting up Hall of Fame numbers.
Yes.
That you cold.
And then
You
he
cold,
matured
bro.
later on his career and
It was
got
even better.
It was so scary, bro. Like, it just made me think of what we missed out on Michael Vick. So
If he
I'm
would have
taking
took it
Vick.
seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, the Michael Vick all
especially
day,
the type
Carson
of
Palmer.
system I wanna go air raid. I want to be spread. If I'm doing pro style, obviously Carson Palmer's gonna be the better, like the
I'm
bigger
still
favorite of that
taking-
quarterback. I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
if
I mean,
Carson
later
Palmer
on in the
never had
career,
that
bro,
ACL
Vic would have
surgery.
figured it out.
All right. Well, if Mike Vick didn't get caught up with them dogs, we can play
It
what
would
if
been a
all
whole
day.
different situation, bro.
And if he didn't play for
Whole
Atlanta.
different.
But hey, that situation left room for Matt Ryan to come in. So
True.
I guess there's a blessing in disguise. All right, we're gonna switch it up a little bit because I'm sure everybody's tired of listening to the damn NFL. We'll talk NBA real quick. How impressive was Jason Tatum's 60-point game? Did you watch it? And if you did watch it, how impressive was it? Go ahead, Devontae.
I was watching the draft, and then I think, was it you, CJ? That
It was
that put it in
CJ.
the group.
Yeah.
He's like, I think at the moment, boy had 50. I said 50. Switch. We done already, we done got Mac Jones at the time, so I'm good. And Luis was upset about the Saints. He had the meme you kept undefeated all weekend with. And so I tuned into the game, and dude is cooking. I mean, cooking. Apparently, they was down 40 points. Down 40 points before he got, to the accolade of what he ended up dropping 60. That's crazy. It was very, what did you say? You say factor cap or no?
No.
I
Just
got
your
lost.
take on it. We go fact.
Oh
cap
yeah, just my
next
take.
quarter.
Okay, yeah. No, he balled out. Jason Tatum is a big key piece to the Celtics' success right now, and if they continue to get him involved, help him out defensively and things like that, the Celtics can make a run. Do I see him winning it all? No. You already know my favorites at this moment, but I definitely think Jason Tatum's 60-point game made a statement, big statement at this moment, and Jason Tatum is balling. So yeah,
All right, CJ, you had your one eye closed like you had to say something.
right, disrespectful.
let me get this out of the way. That was an impressive ass game, dog. I mean, I was keeping track of it at the beginning because the Spurs were blowing their ass out, bro. I was like, damn, Celtics, dog, y'all actually in the playoffs and y'all getting this burnt toast, bro. I was like, ugh. But Jason, I mean, for it being a 60-point game, he had to go overtime to get to 60 points. So in the overall look of all the people who have gone 60 point in a game, it was not the best one, but it was a really impressive one. It was a really, really well done performance by Jason Tatum. And I think my only critique to what Devonta said, the Celtics ain't got a damn chance, bro. I'm sorry. They are too inconsistent. They get burnt out on these games at the start of the games too frequently. They almost a month ago were up like 30 on the Mavs, and the Mavs came out back and beat them. So this is a routine occurrence of the Celtics not playing up to what their standards should be. They take nights off. I think they are a well-coached team when they want to be, but I don't know if Brad Stevens has the team's like interest all aligned at the moment, and I think that's the overall point. But like Tristan Thompson said, who is a bad man for different reasons, but he said, Jason Tatum, you a bad man. And I think he's I think his talent's being wasted on the Celtics. I wish he was on a different team. I ain't gonna lie.
Is Jason Tatum a bad man after that 60 point?
As a Spurs fan, no.
I mean, yeah, right. As a Lakers fan, you don't want to, give him his flowers.
To be honest with you, man, Jason Tatum is an amazing young talent. One of my favorite young players. I don't like to be on the receiving end, but I can applaud a great game. 60 points is not an easy feat, so congratulations.
I should give you a foul for not sticking to your point, boy. I don't care what nobody's saying. Somebody dropped a 60 piece on my team, I'll be like, they still trash.
Hey, look, listen. The Spurs are not making the playoffs. I just looked at the rest of the schedule. Look, we have the 76ers, Jazz twice, the Kings, that's a win, Trailblazers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Knicks, and the Suns twice.
Bro, the Kings have beat the Mavs twice in the past.
The Kings just beat the Lakers.
The Kings just beat the Lakers. So, listen, so unless Pop gonna go back to fundamentals and Tim Duncan unretires and Tony Parker from 03 appears and Manu with no ball spot comes back.
Swatting bats and stuff.
We gonna miss the playoffs for a second year in a row, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I don't want to move off the Lakers. So, Devontae, LeBron James coming back. What does that mean for the Lakers? Are they gonna return to greatness?
It's gonna take time. It's definitely gonna take time. LeBron is hurting. That's one thing I will say, but he is still hooping. He is definitely helping us out. It's just gonna take us a minute to get back in the groove of things, to get AD very involved, especially shooting and things like that. LeBron, I just feel like is maybe rushing it a little bit. I wasn't expecting him to return that fast, but hey, he did, and I think he's trying to hit the ground running and want us to get back and under. We just dropped to 6th, so I believe we are now behind the Mavericks. I do not like that, but we'll be back. I definitely see us still making it to where we need to be, to the promised land. But it's scaring me a little bit against the Nets because I just don't feel like we are healthy enough right now. And because our two key players are just super exhausted. Like LeBron is very exhausted. He stated that, but there's still no excuses. So LeBron just got to get the job done. Do I think that he does, or do I think that he can get the job done? Yes, I think he can. It's just gonna take a lot of willpower. Y'all remember Jimmy Butler bending over in the bubble, and he was just like, yeah, bro, he was tired. Yeah, that's my boy Bron right now. So he just gonna get it done. He's gonna figure it out.
All right, let me jump back to you, Luis. Lakers returning to greatness because LeBron is back?
I mean, yeah, I don't think the loss from the Kings should take anything away. He missed a game tying or game winning, I believe. So they were in a position to at least make a move in the game. It's LeBron James. I'm not betting against that, man. It's LeBron James. LeBron James. And I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. I think they're going to be just fine going into the playoffs. I think they might cruise into maybe the 6th or maybe 5th seed. To where they're at, and then I think it doesn't matter what LeBron does in the first round because he's undefeated. He's never lost in the first round. So the matchups are there in the playoffs, and honestly, I think he can make a really big push if everything comes together. So I'm excited to see what the Lakers do. So I'm gonna be rooting for the Lakers and the Suns because the Spurs are not gonna be on there.
Just letting y'all know Mavericks now. Fan, CJ.
Let me just.
Here we go.
I will say this. I am worried about the Lakers, but not what you think. I'm worried about them because of how tight the 5th, 6th, and 7th seed in the West spot is right now. The Mavs only got over the Lakers because they won last night. If they were to lose that game last night, which they almost did, they would have dropped to the 7th seed. That's how close those games are right now. And I think it shows to me that the Lakers are a little bit desperate because they brought back LeBron so early. I thought he was going to have like a 5-game game until the playoff return to the lineup. They brought him back at 11, game 11 before the playoff started. And I was like, that doesn't look good for y'all. I think that, I'm not going to change my point from last week or my opinion of last week that the Lakers are probably going to win the West out. I believe that. And I think they're going to win the title this year. I think that's still a thing. They're still in the 6th seed. They're out of the play-in tournament. They'll have to face, though, either the Nuggets or I think it's the Suns. Those are the 1 and 2 seeds. Or Utah, sorry. The Nuggets are Utah. And
Utah.
Both of those teams are on fire. And yes, Murray being out for the Nuggets, it kind of takes away that playmaking aspect, but they have that second year player, man. MPJ, I can't remember his whole
Porter.
name. Michael Porter Jr. Sorry, I just remembered it as I was saying it.
He dropped 50 the other night.
Homie is legit. He's legit, and he can be a playmaker if he needs to be. And I still believe that Jokic is MVP of the year. And so, bro, just because I'm pronouncing wrong don't mean shit. I'm just gonna say this.
So bad.
I'm just gonna say this. They should really be worried more because the Mavs have right now the dark horse contender for MVP in Luka Doncic. He has averaging 35 points per game. He's averaging over 48% from field goal. He's basically averaging a triple-double for the year. And the only other person that did that was Russell Westbrook and the Big O. And those two people won the MVP when they did that. And so this is where I'm at right now. I don't think he's going to win it because Jokic has had an amazing year, and I think he's doing things that, for a center, it's about time that a true center really won the MVP award. But I'm sorry, I stirred this conversation into a different point, but I'm just saying the Lakers, they got some competition in the top 5 that I'm really, really worried about them. If they slip into the play-in tournament, it may become a lot rougher of a journey to the finals than what I previously thought. So,
yeah.
Well, Basketball Reference has them at a 3.2% likelihood of winning the MVP.
Jeez.
Just wanted to let you know. But with that, it is the end of the second quarter, so we're moving into halftime / third quarter because we don't got no halftimes here. This is typically where we would put ads, but we don't have to read any ad right now, so we're gonna move on to the third quarter. Luis and CJ, y'all are tied over points. Devontae, you're 3 points behind. So let's run through these factor caps. Don't have signs for y'all this time, but here we go. Factor cap, and we're gonna start with Luis. So factor cap. Kellen Mond was a good pickup.
I think it was a great pickup. I think it was a fantastic pickup. I think that facts. So yes, if you develop that project, you work on his mechanism, you work on his decision and his timing, I think he can be a good starter for the league. So great pickup.
Devontae?
I'm going to say fact as well. I liked Kellen Mond in the draft. I just believe it was a little too early. But again, if you see a great player for your franchise and you pick him up, Kellen Mond is definitely a developmental project at this moment because of his throwing mechanics, but his throwing mechanics also definitely remind me of Colin Kaepernick's. Very high, super, can throw it in the windows when he needs to. It's just a little bit slower. You know what I'm saying? The throw motion is a little bit weird. But man, when they get that right, it's a wrap. And he's a mobile quarterback at that. Kellen Mond played in the SEC, so people need to start paying him that respect. He balled out when he could. He just had to play Bama. At the end of the day, that's what you have to see. And Joe Burrow at LSU. So Kellen Mond was a great pickup by the Vikings. Like I said in the group chat, I definitely think he's going to be starting mid-season because Kirk Cousins is going to piss everybody off like he always does. And we ain't gonna be talking about you like that? Nah, bro, we don't like you, and he gonna get bounced. And I definitely feel like Kellen Mond gonna be, hearing it from the crowd to get pushed to be the starter. So, do I think that should happen? No, I just think how the clout be for a certain player, and when one player is pissing you off, they gonna eventually try to bump him up to be the starter. It happens all the time, every year. So,
all right, CJ, factor cap. Kellen Mond was a good pickup.
Cap. He ain't ready for the NFL, bro. He's not ready for the NFL. He has the intangibles to be a great quarterback, but his throwing motion and his inconsistency in his last season told me that he is not ready for NFL defenses. Like it's just, and especially in the NFC. Like the NFC has some of the best defenses in the league, and you're gonna be facing them on a regular. I don't see that man coming in and starting halfway through the season. I give you that Kirk Cousins is not the QB of the future for the Vikings. That's obvious. They picked a quarterback in the third round. That tends to mean that they're probably about to develop that prospect to be the next starter. But the key word there is develop. And you're not going to develop someone in one season to be that starter unless that man somehow flips the switch in training camp and like shows you something that was completely, not seen. And he what I'm trying to say is he's not Dak. Right? I don't think he has those Dak qualities that would put him in a position to start. Unless Kirk Cousins goes down, I don't see him being the starter. And I don't see y'all's point that the Kirk will even have a bad year because the Vikings had a good draft, dog. They had a good draft. They got Christian Barrymore from hold on. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Christian Darrisaw. Yeah, you can give me a foul for that. That was my bad right there. But like as I'm saying, man, they've got good draft picks. I think that they are set up to have a really good year this year. And I mean, they still have the best running back in the league right now, bro. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. They got the resources to win games. So I don't see Kellen Mond starting, but maybe in the next year or two. I still think it was a little bit too early. I don't think that was a good pick.
I'm just going to give you the foul for saying, buddy, name the wrong person. But Luis, go ahead and rebut.
Listen, so Kirk Cousins lacks mobility. He doesn't have the best arm. And all he does is a game manager. Kellen Mond can easily take over his athleticism, the arm strength. The mobility is there. We just need to work on his mechanism, his decision making. His pocket presence improved in 2020, and he minimized turnovers in A&M. He has the experience. I think it was a great pickup for him. I think this is their starter, and you have to realize the Vikings really don't ask much from their quarterback. Because they have Dalvin Cook. And I think that's a great opportunity to work on your future. Have Kirk Cousins there, manage your games, and then hand it off smoothly. The Vikings don't draft quarterbacks. I think this is a great pickup.
I mean, but they have in the past, but if you look at their system, here's my thought on it. If you look at their system, they need game managers. I don't think that getting somebody like Kellen Mond, who you bowed for his athleticism, what you're actually going to do is you're going to try to change who he is as a quarterback. It's going to make him a bad quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's not him. Exactly. You put him in a system that's not him, he's end up going to be a bad quarterback because you want to try to utilize or not utilize the thing that he's actually good at. Put him in a system that's good for him. That's why Kirk Cousins is still working in Minnesota. You just need a game manager. You have a great offensive line. You have a very good defense. You have weapons on the outside. And you have a great running back. You don't need anybody who is going to be athletic and is going to be you doing West Coast offense style stuff, some naked boots up maybe a couple times, but you're throwing real short. So I think they're going to try to change Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond is not going to be good because of it.
And also, I'm gonna follow up to this as well too. What are we talking about when it comes to the Vikings? Because them bros have been successful. Like, I mean, they're not winning championships or anything like that, but they've gotten to the playoffs and they got into the second round. They beat the Saints a couple of years ago. Did they not do that to get to the conference finals? And so, like, with who? Kirk Cousins. So this is where I'm trying to get at, bro. Like, you're asking for someone to be rushed into a starting spot. who does not need to be rushed into that starting spot. If you want to develop him in a way that he can be successful, you need to let him sit for a few years. He needs to sit. He needs to take the Alex Smith approach, or the Kansas City approach with Alex Smith and Pat Mahomes. Let the starter start and help develop the next QB to actually take over. If you rush him, he ain't gonna be good. And that's where as I'm trying to get to the point of, like, it seemed like they had better picks at that moment, that they could have still gotten Kellen Mond at the end of that round.
That's how
they
I
had
feel.
They had another pick. So
Yeah.
Devontae, what would you
I
say?
would like to briefly say, even though these are not the same players, so don't foul me, but CJ, you sound just like me, how I was speaking on Lamar Jackson during his draft process. I said pretty much the same things you were saying, bro. Throwing mechanics, all this stuff, rushing the process. But again, two different players, bro. Because Lamar won a Heisman. Lamar was a straight dog. But like his draft process, the type of quarterback that he is, he does have mobility and things like that, but he just lacks being like a big game manager. I said the same exact things about Lamar Jackson. AndLamar proved me all the way wrong. I will never disrespect that man. Real big.
and
cut.
I get that, but
I'm fouling you for that, bro. That was disrespectful.
Oh,
You're
what?
disrespectful, bro. Comparing
What?
Kellen Mond and Lamar Jackson.
That's what I'm
just
trying to
said
get
they're
at.
not the
Those
same
are two
players.
completely.
They're not the same player.
They're not
They're
even the
completely different.
atmosphere. They're not even the same atmosphere, bro.
And just 'cause
Lamar
they
throws the
fast,
ball
bro.
better. Lamar throws the ball better. He makes better decisions. He's more athletic. He can carry his team better, as he has shown.
faster.
And he won the Heisman. They're not the same player.
I literally said they're not the same player.
I know, but then
Before my statement.
That doesn't absolve
But
you from
during the draft
essentially,
process,
you told the ref you didn't
during
foul.
that draft
I've seen it.
process, some of the cons were very similar, like that a lot of people had to say about them.
That's because he was a black quarterback.
I take
but
my
ain't gonna-
foul with pride
That part. That part.
and move forward. Because
All right.
Kirk Cousins threw it to Stephon Diggs and won the game anyway. So yeah, he'll
Then
start.
Stephon Diggs started
See,
crying.
you in the wrong. Why you got to bring that up? You in the wrong. You in the wrong.
Look,
Take your L, bro.
He started crying. He said he threw the helmet, got fined for that. All right, here we go. We talked about this earlier, but factor cap, Cowboys love drafting defensive players, and I'm gonna start with you, Cowboy fan. Fact or cap? And don't lie.
Don't lie.
Again, bro, I'm gonna get back to the point of, like, they don't love it. They have to. They have so many holes every offseason in the defensive side. It's because they draft so poorly on the defensive side, bro. Like, they have not hit on a defensive player truly, to me, since Byron Jones and DeMarcus Ware. Those were the last two real hits on defensive players. I think they finally got their head around to the right place with Micah Parsons. I give you that. But I still think they are only doing this because they have to, not because they need to. Like, I don't think if Dan Quinn was not hired this offseason, that the draft would have looked like this. It would have been probably a mix of defensive players, because we lost like half of our starters from either retirement or them going to free agency this year. And it's just the point of, like, yes, they draft defensive players in the past couple of years a lot because they boo-boo on the defensive side and lose everybody, bro. And they have to. They're like, what are we asking? The bottom team for defense, drafting defense is the sign that they love it? No, they have to. They're the reason why they're the worst team in the league in defense, because they suck. They don't want to draft the right people. Like,
All right, I feel you. I got a different opinion, but go ahead, Devontae.
Cap. Jerry is where the money resides. That boy love drafting offensive players. But as you showed me the numbers, 5 out of 7, 4 out of 6, 1 year they drafting defensive players. But I definitely feel like the Cowboys love drafting offensive players way more. I'm telling you, if let Kyle Pitts had slipped in the draft to the Dallas Cowboys,
Boy.
I promise you, Micah Parsons wouldn't even exist in the Dallas atmosphere, bro. They would have drafted Kyle Pitts because he's going to sell jerseys, because he's going to make it exciting to come see Dallas. Not saying Micah Parsons is not going to, bring that. I mean, hell, he was yelling when he got drafted. So I was like, bro, he just fits in Dallas, just like Van Der Esch was when he got drafted. But I just definitely think Jerry Jones loves getting offensive players and offensive weapons at that. But, I mean, hey, it might work out for the Cowboys because, like I said, championship or bust. But, every year is that year, so.
Louise factor cap.
I'm going to say facts, but CJ, you basically said, like, the Cowboys do draft defense, but I like the players they pick this draft. Because they draft defensive players no matter what. All you're saying is, I like these players over the other ones. I'm looking at historically what y'all be drafting, and some of these players aren't even in the league anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying it's.
I don't disagree with your point.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know how I interpret that. The Cowboys just been drafting poorly because they have the picks. They're in position to make good picks. They just don't do it. I mean, if you look at the previous defensive players that they drafted, I mean, even in the third or fourth round or second, where good defensive players are easy to spot, I mean, I'm sorry, it's just not promising.
You talking about this draft?
Yeah. No, the previous ones.
Oh no.
Historically.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Please tell me why.
Because, and this is my frustration with Jason Garrett wasn't necessarily because of his play calling and people who was put in position, stuff like that. It was his draft philosophy was best player available who didn't fit the system, and they continuously bought into that idea year after year after year. Last year, they kind of got out of it a little bit. They got Trayvon Diggs, who matches the system. They got some other players who were decent enough. But this year, dog, they got people who actually match what Dan Quinn is trying to do on the defensive side. And that's why I enjoy the picks, because it's actually going to translate to someone who can fit in the system better.
Listen, y'all been drafting a cornerback since 2012, since Morris Claiborne.
Listen.
I'm sorry, Saints Peyton Turner. I'm sorry.
Listen.
Drafting consistent positions is a thing for every team.
Hold on. The Saints have historically drafted. Look at 2017. Look at 2018. Look at 2019. You drafting Captain 2015 without picking up a fifth-year
Ring that
option.
bell, Corey. Ring that bell.
The point is that you're trying to get on them for drafting a position routinely because they have to.
I'm getting on them for drafting poorly. I want you to understand my point correctly.
100%. What did I just say? They
for drafting a player. No. I'm talking draft
system.
Holistically. I'm talking about the whole 3-day process that y'all prepare a whole year for was not good historically. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. Because all you said was they draft defensive players, but I like this one right now.
CJ said he agreed.
What did I just say? I just said I agreed. They drafted. You need to listen, bro. Best player available does not necessarily translate to fit the system that you are coaching people to be in. That's why they drafted terribly, because they picked the best player who they saw on their board was the best player available. But they always had an issue with fitting the system, bro. They never were the player that needed to go into the 4-3 defense that was played when we had homeboy who's now over in the Raiders defensive coordinator room right now. So like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, bro, just because I don't remember names don't mean fucking time, bro.
You filibustering right now, fam. You filibustering,
dog. Names and numbers are always difficult, bro. Like, no.
All right, back to your corners. Okay, back to your respective corners. Here's what I'll say. I will be willing to bet, all right, because I think it's hella fact. I will be willing to bet that since the year 2000, there has not been one draft where the Cowboys got more offensive players than defensive players.
False.
That might have broke
2016.
even. 2016?
2016.
All right, let's look. Who they draft? They draft Ezekiel Elliott.
No, they have 4 offense. I have it pulled up right here.
Yeah.
I have it 4 offensive, and then we got
5 defensive.
Yeah.
2016?
Yes.
See, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I thought Corey was going to
who's all the
his
defensive
first
players?
foul.
No, sir. Listen, you said what?
Who's all the defense players from that year?
Jalen
From
Smith,
2016,
Malik
Jalen
Collins,
Smith, Malik
Charles
Collins,
Tapper.
Charles Tapper.
Charles
Anthony
Tapper.
Brown.
I forgot about
Brown
that. Bro. He was
Frazier.
out the league in a year, bro.
Right. Now, here's my
That's
assessment.
wild.
I think that for some reason Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have a hard on for defensive players. That's just me. But I think that they draft. The reason why we think they get all these offensive weapons is because they're terrible defensive drafters and wonderful offensive drafters. When they get offensive weapons, they work. When they draft defense, they trash for the most part. Because I think Leighton Vander Esch was a good pickup. I think. You don't think Leighton?
I know, bro.
They're not even going to pick up his 5th-year option. They picked 2 linebackers this year.
Bro, they already trying to scrub him out, bro. And it's
Bro, but
bad. I'm like, yo, they worship him when he
injury-wise,
first
correct?
got here.
Yeah, it's injury wise.
Because when he's on the field, Is he not efficient?
No, he's a terrible coverage linebacker. He's literally ranked in the bottom half of the league when it comes to
coverage wise.
What happened to Taco Charlton?
Right, but I tell you what though. So coverage wise, coverage
to Miami, then
coverage is why he wasn't seeing the field in the first place. When he's on the field though, is he not always where the ball is?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When he plays, he's not good now. He was good for 1 year, bro. Like, listen to me. He was healthy last year. He sucked. Him and Jalen, they both sucked. Yeah. They were not good. Jalen, his body is not going to let him be great. That's the reason why he's not going to be great. It's because
my body won't let me be
injury,
great.
The nerve injury was something that has continuously been a hindrance to his ability to actually cover the field. Leighton Vander Esch is his neck issue. It's like he
only
just
played 10 games.
They picked very unhealthy players who are amazing, but are not developing to be amazing anymore because they've been injured too long. And the fact
that's what I'm trying to say. His first year he was not injured. He played all 16 games, correct?
Yes.
And he had a phenomenal year. He had 140 tackles, 102 solos. Mm-hmm. Right?
Damn, that's a lot.
So then his second year he's injured. He only has 72 tackles. And then this year he's injured. He only has 60 tackles. I'm saying if he was not injured, I don't think we have a full picture is what I'm trying to say. While he might not be a great coverage linebacker, coverage is an aspect of your entire game. The man had 140 tackles in his first year when he was full healthy. So my assumption should be that if he's full healthy for both years, he's getting somewhere upwards of in between 120 to 150 tackles a year. That's a good linebacker.
I feel like personally, man, in the NFL, especially in this new generation, we're giving up on players so fast.
Yes, definitely.
But also, for 4 years.
You almost have to. You know what I'm saying? If you are a liability to the company because you keep getting injured, you can't play. You know the song, "What Have You Done For You?"
Listen, a lot of the cats that y'all be drafting are out before their rookie deal. That is the definition of a bust.
That's because they defense. Oh, you know what? Speaking of bust. No, we're not gonna get there yet. Let's move on real quick. Let's move to movies real quick. Factor cap. Mortal Kombat met expectations.
Met expectations. Fact. I will go first. Yes, fact. The bare minimum was given to us. That's all we need. Like, just I'm not saying okay. Like, let me take that back. That's not all we need. We could have got more. Trust me. I do have my arguments and disagreements with certain things, but it did meet its expectations. The excitement, I definitely love the advertising for it. The commercials and trailers were great. Some of the actors was a little sketchy. Could have been picked a little bit different, but some of them were actually really dope. It brought like our childhood back, like the excitement of playing the video games with the homies and things like that. Seeing the old school films, I had to run that back. Tyus was like, man, you gonna have to watch that first one again, bro, to see why I'm comparing it to this and that. And I'm like, all right, bet. I was like, wow, this is why, some of the old heads feel a little disrespected. But I definitely think we met the minimum expectations of what Mortal Kombat was. We got Fatality, we got Get Over Here, we got Sub-Zero freezing blood. Like, come on, bro. Like, we got a lot of good things in this movie, but there was some things that could improve as well. But met expectations, yes. Fact.
All right, Luis, you said fact. CJ?
Yeah, I said, yeah, it's facts. You're not, listen, you're not going to Mortal Kombat to see Oscar-winning acting. You going there to go see some fights, somebody scrap, somebody get their head detached, and some blood. Listen, the only... Liu Kang needs to be recasted, though. That's the only thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Or listen, by some miracle, if you're watching... Make it a little bit more believable for me, please. He's one of the greatest, most all-time best
he characters. He wasn't even swole. Like,
he was cut, though. He was cut. Yeah, for sure. Like,
hey, I want him to still be swole, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Abel was saying Bruce Lee would be a good casting for him. Like, if he was to do Bruce Lee in, like, a future film or, what? No, you don't. Oh, dang, you just shaking like Bruce Lee just did.
Listen, bro. Stop.
Look, bro, I just don't think he was just the size of what we expected. What Luke Kang was like in the video games. If so, we're gonna run this back. Get my boy some creatine. You know what I'm saying? Like, buff him up.
It wasn't the muscle. It was the acting.
I feel like Bruce Lee, he would be a pretty good fit. You just got to work on some acting thing. But again, like you just said, bro, we wasn't expecting Oscar award-winning roles. Like, let's stop it. Let's run it back to the old film. Bruh, you know what they was missing?
But the thing is with Mortal Kombat, like each character was a little bit believable, like Jax, that's a believable character, man, I'm forgetting the name. That's on me.
Oh, give him a foul. Give him a foul.
Hey, listen. Hey, I didn't speak on it. I just went like this. Oh man.
Which one?
It's the one with the red eye.
Kano?
Yeah,
Kano.
Kano. Yeah, Kano.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kano.
you know, I think he
Kano was
great.
to me, he was the best one in the whole movie.
He was dope.
Yeah.
Hold
was.
on.
I think he was.
Scorpion was the best one in the movie, bro.
No. I'm talking about when it
Sub-Zero?
came to acting wise. I'm talking about acting wise, not like fighting wise. Acting wise.
Acting-wise too, bro.
Kano's. Nah, bro. Kano played Kano's role better than anybody could have played Kano's role. I feel like that is Kano.
I just think
I was
Kano
actually
got
watching Kano.
I'm mad you just said Scorpion, and we barely seen him in the movie, bro.
Thank you.
We got
He
him,
was in the
like,
movie for 30.
cuts.
The boy
I'll
died
take
and went to
Sub-Zero
hell,
over,
and he came back.
Scorpion
Sub-Zero
in the
was
movie.
Hey, I was
Hey,
confused
bro,
why
but
they made him a
listen.
villain, but I was
How many
like,
times have you heard
damn.
Scorpion speaking anything else? He don't speak. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, but can we see him? We was getting flashes. Dude was looking in the mirrors like, oh, I was like, whoa,
Can we
that's
see
Scorpion.
him?
Can we see it again?
And don't act like if Cole Young wasn't jumping on the other side, bro, that he was gonna win that fight against Sub-Zero, bro.
Oh, no.
Like,
No.
he was
Sub-Zero
getting
was marking everybody in that goddamn film,
the
bro.
bloodline blessed
Yeah,
him, 'cause
listen.
he was about to.
Cole Young need to
So
take a
CJ
DNA
Factor
test.
I mean, immense expectation for a Mortal Kombat film. Yeah, yes. Like I will say, my biggest frustration was the introduction of Cole Young. I was like, this character is fucking boring, dude. Like, what is he? Like, what is his power? He's got like a shield of armor. Like,
He a Power
what
Ranger,
is
bro,
in the police
without the
batons,
helmet.
bro? He was.
They gave that man some vibranium.
Some vibranium and some
But why not
like
like
a new-
Some nightsticks.
Yeah.
why was his face not covered? Like that was my
Because
issue. It's like,
listen, he's great value Nightwing, bro.
Yeah.
something,
I think
bro.
the costume came from Aquaman's closet or something.
Shit,
Definitely,
honestly,
boy.
Aquaman,
just
boy.
with a
He the
police
guardian. He the guardian.
Shit.
boy
I'll
came
say
with the
fact though.
nightsticks.
I'll say fact because like the brutality was there, the cool kills, the just like really cheesy acting. Like that's what Mortal Kombat is, dog.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm not expecting too much more than that. So
You know what I hated?
Huh?
So you know what I hated?
What?
They said flawless victory. We gotta get over here, and there was a perfect time for them to say finish him, and he didn't do it. I was so mad. It was literally when they had him down there, they had Sub-Zero down there, and Cole could have Scorpion about to tell Cole do something, but he told Cole, "Yo, I got this. Go take care of your family." I was like, "Damn, this is the perfect time where he could have said finish him. It'd have been dope. You could have did the fatality right there. That'd have been hard. We got the other two. That's what I'm saying. But it is what it is. I loved it. You know, and you know me when it comes to movies. I'm thinking I'll be giving stuff all the time. But for what it was, I knew that I wasn't going to go in and see some amazing film that I was just about to go watch an action film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I went in with that lens and I was highly impressed. All right, then last thing, we almost got into this in the text message thread, so we're going to do it here. Is Dwayne Haskins, factor cap, Dwayne Haskins will be the biggest bust of all time.
Cap, bro.
Cap,
Cap, bro. Take off your hat. Cap, bro. Oh,
Bro,
no,
why?
man. I'll leave the one that is obviously the big bust for Luis, but like
Appreciate
first
you.
name that comes to my head is not the biggest one, but like the first name is Ryan Leaf, dog.
Ryan
Went to
Leaf.
prison, like,
bro. Not his business.
bro. Come on, that was
My
the
dog
worst.
Vic got caught up, man. That don't mean nothing.
No, he got drug charges, dog. He was worse than Vic.
I know, bro. Prison is prison, though. You know.
Nah, prison
He
is
was the
prison,
first
yo,
overall
chill.
pick,
Hey,
though. Like,
shout out to Ryan Leaf because apparently he's been doing good though. But I heard some other stuff.
Changed his
But
life.
Yeah, road to
I'm glad
recovery.
he's changed his life. He's
You
still,
still
the
a
biggest
bust.
fucking bust. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Bro, CJ Raw. Oh, bro. Oh, my
all
God.
right,
wrong.
Devontae, why is it cap?
Cap, bro. Dwayne Haskins, even though I could not stand, again, I said it last time, I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks, but Justin Fields. Terrell Power was live back in the day, but I just definitely didn't think he was going to translate what's in the NFL. But Haskins, man, just got put in a bad situation, bro. Like, I feel like he can be a decent backup quarterback in the league. I don't see him being a starter anytime soon. I don't even honestly see him making the Steelers team this year. I feel like he's going to end up getting cut or go somewhere else. But I'm not going to say he's a bust, bro. He is not the biggest bust ever. Bro, you mentioned him earlier. Jamarcus Russell literally lied to a coach about film. You are the franchise. You are supposed to know what's gonna be done the next day. You are the game manager, and you lied and said you watched this and went out there and threw hella picks. Nah, bro, that's a bust. Dwayne Haskins just got caught up taking L's, bro. That's all it was. He was trying to be Lemon Pepper Lou, and it don't roll that way in the NFL, bro. Not at all. So but like at the end of the day, I won't say he the biggest bust. He didn't play too well last year, which is what added on to his release. But I won't give him the biggest bust just yet. He would have to do some crazy stuff for me to give him biggest bust. So.
Like never play again.
Yep.
Yeah, probably ever. Which I think he's gonna play again, bro. He will.
All right,
Better than Mason Rudolph.
Speaking of, listen, since Avante touched on Jamarcus Russell, which I think is the biggest bust of all time. Listen, there is one player we are forgetting, and I was even saying this person will be a great running back, and that is Trent Richardson.
Oh wow!
Wait,
wow!
He was the number 3 overall
Johnny
pick.
Manziel.
No, he was the number 3 overall pick, and what did he do? 2 yards a carry.
Wait, did he really average 2 yards a carry?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm guessing.
Yes.
It's like 3 something.
No, when he left, when he went to the Colts,
when he went to the Colts, he was averaging when he was with the Browns, I mean,
he had
he
one.
still
Where that foul at?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you foul for
2 something, 3 something.
Yeah,
Let me say that.
Come on. Yeah,
You have.
foul for that one. Definitely.
and no foul was
Exactly.
initiated.
All right, yeah, Trent is up there. Back in the day, I used to say this all the time. I used to think that the Alabama offensive line was so great that most Alabama running backs weren't, and they would make it to the league, and they weren't that great. However, that has not been proven the case.
Not at all.
And earlier, you said Dalvin Cook was the best, and I'm sure some other people out there are thinking there's another running back might be the best in the league. But I'll take because Dalvin Cook is amazing, so it's debatable. No foul on that one. I believe that is the end of the third quarter, so we're gonna move into hot topics. This one's real hot, and this one can get hot and heavy. So we're gonna free ball this one. Obviously, last week, if you were not up on it, Dr. J did a top 10, pretty much all NBA first team, second team. And he left the king, the GOAT, off of his list, LeBron James. And not only did he leave him off the list, he said LeBron, the reason why he left him off is because he don't really have much respect because LeBron is the one who created super teams. Now, my question to you, and that's not even true, but my question to you is this. Are super teams hurting sports?
I'll go ahead and take this up. 82 Sixers, 82 Lakers, 83 Celtics. What do they all have in common? They were a super team. They had former MVPs that came into their team.
He was on a super
and created a super team. And so if the league can survive from that, which it has, and has only grown and been so much greater since, they'll be all right. Is it suck when we see the Nets probably win for the next 3 years in the championship? Yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit. But like everything, super teams explode eventually. You know what I mean? Saw it in Miami. We saw it. We were about to see it with the Clippers probably next year. Low key.
The Patriots?
I don't know if I'll say that. But it's I can't understand the sentiment. I understand he's an old head and he's thinking through the idea of like, individual blah blah blah, and it's Dr. J, but homie was on a super team. So like I'm thinking through this conversation and I'm just like, we're just not wanting to give LeBron James his roses. Really, that's what it is, bro. Like he's great. He's done amazing. He formed a team with some friends and he won a championship, which is what he wanted to do because he had the power to do so. The previous years, the players didn't. It was the teams that were putting them together, and that's I think really where the hurt comes from when we see old heads talk about it. It's the fact that like we're seeing players today take more charge of what their future looks like than previous years, and it makes them uncomfortable with the fact that they can be successful while doing that. They want to prescribe to the old adage of team first, and that's just not how it is. And so Yikes. When I saw those comments, I was like, wow.
Devontae, as fan of one of the greatest super teams of all time, if not the greatest super team of all time, are super teams hurting sports?
First off, Dr. J, your feelings hurt, bro. Let it go. Let it relax.
Relax.
Definitely relax. Bruh, come on. Like, I definitely just feel like he's not really understanding that the league is just so much more televised nowadays, and now like everybody has an opinion on stuff. There's articles, there's social media that just sees everything that's happening in the league, so people can kind of gather like a huge opinion of what they believe what super teams are. And like y'all just stated, he was on one. There has been super teams in the past. LeBron was just a part of that era where it was like, whoa, like this just looks super when really it was just two more players, bro, and people going towards the end of their careers just started getting on the squad, like Ray Allen when he helped Bron get that ship against the Spurs. Like, I mean, bro, we've seen so many things that's happened in our league that's been a big change, and super teams isn't something new. That's what I'm just shocked about. Like, I just think it's just the player's caliber or the stature of that player is just so big, and when they finally get on that team, they want to make it like these are the Avengers that can't be beat. Now the Nets is a little different argument. That's scary, but again, that's just something that we just haven't really like seen of that stature of KD, Kyrie, and Harden. It's like, whoa, those are like some of the best shooters in this league. Like, they all forming up. This is scary, but like at the end of the day, it's not hurting the league. I mean, if that's the case, numbers would be awful. Of the NBA ratings, which they have dropped only due to the pandemic and things like that. But other than that, bro, it's not hurting the NBA. LeBron James ain't do nothing to you, Dr. J. You need to go ahead and apologize, my guy. You probably ain't hearing this, but you just hurt, bro. You hurt because Bron is better. You hurt because Bron is better.
Wow.
You are definitely hurt, my guy. That's it. Let it go.
Luis.
King James, bro.
What you got of super teams hurting sports?
It's not because super teams help create fan bases. It helps create storylines. It helps sell tickets. Everybody wants to see their best players go up against the best teams. The only drawback that I have when discussing super teams is the lack of young development of stars. We saw it with the Lakers when they traded Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. And all those players are good players in the NBA right now. Julius Randle is going off. All to get LeBron. Of course, I understand LeBron is a generational superstar, the greatest of all time in my opinion. But super teams are good for the sports. I just think the biggest drawback is when we talk about super teams, it becomes more, they're going to meet in the playoffs rather than the regular season being the draw to the NBA. I'm not going to watch a Rockets and Pelicans game, but I will watch the Knicks and the Nets because they're top tier teams. I'm willing to watch the Suns and the Lakers. It keeps the offseason interesting as well. We want to see where the next free agent move is going to happen. We want to see what two superstars are willing to say, okay, I understand you guys drafted me, but I want to be in a win now team. So where can I go? But it's also creating a culture where veterans are taking veteran minimums when I don't think they should be paid veteran minimums. Blake Griffin.
Just chip.
Exactly. So I think it's intertwined in a lot of other things. I think super teams are great because it gives us the opportunities for fans to really explore some of these what team would win, conversations that we have all the time.
All right.
Quick question real quick.
Yeah.
Even though this would never happen and did not ever happen. If Bron would have went to the Mavericks when Dirk was in his prime, was that a super team, yes or no?
Look, that tells you right now, boy.
Was that a super team?
CJ would cry.
He crying just thinking about the memories that would have happened.
It would have been great.
So, yeah. Okay, but like, I guess, yeah.
The thing is, the people that hate super teams are the people that don't have a super team.
Yeah.
Of course.
Facts.
That's it.
Like, I hate the Bucks right now. NBA and now team, it makes sense. Now it makes sense why people hated us.
And a fan of the only NBA team in the past decade who beat a super team in the finals.
Here we go.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It can happen. Anything can happen.
I mean,
It
the
can,
Spurs
but
can beat
here's
the
what I would see.
Heat too. So
Yeah, here's what I would say about that Mavericks team. And I think that a lot of people forget about that Mavericks team. They will say stuff like, "Oh, they'll use it against LeBron's legacy, right? Oh, LeBron lost to the Mavericks, right?" And then I have to remind people that Mavericks reminded me of Philly when they won the Super Bowl. Nobody talked about them all year, and they was whooping people ass all year. That's the same Mavericks that swept the Lakers that year.
Yep.
They was
Ended
whooping
Bryant's career.
everybody. Yes.
Made Bynum go out sad,
Yes,
bro.
they
Oh
ended
my God, I
everybody,
remember
and
that.
they were balling throughout the playoffs. They've been balling all year, but nobody was talking about them because they had all these other headlines and stories. So, what really happened was the Mavericks all year were a better team than everybody else all year, but the headline was LeBron and Miami Heat. The Heat should have lost because the Mavericks were a better team. I don't know why people like to use that against LeBron. The Mavs were a better team that year. But here's
They
my
was
question
ready
to you.
that year, boy.
Since Dr. J old self did a top 10 list, and I love Dr. J, but he's not cracking my top 10. Who's cracking your top 10? And Luis, you made the biggest face, so you go first. Who's your top 10? And in order, too. From 10 down to 1. In order. I don't want to hear the old interchangeable. Number 10 all the way down to number 1.
Oh wow, we got to do an order.
Yep.
all right, so
Y'all trying to run away from the
This gonna
smoke.
hurt
Oh,
feelings.
we want all the smoke.
I am running.
honestly, look, I ain't running. I'm gonna have LeBron at number 1.
I said 10 to 1, bro.
Oh, 10 to 1. All right, my bad.
All right, so we already know who your 1 is, so start at 10.
There you go. Hey, number 10, Steph Curry.
Oh,
Okay, come on, keep going.
Number 9, Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, number
Go
8.
ahead, go. It's your list.
Number 8, Larry Bird. Number 7, Tim Duncan. Number 5, Magic. Number 4, Kobe. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 2, Michael. Number 1, LeBron. I am leaving Bill and Wilt because they from the 50s.
not just because they old. Just because they old. I'm leaving
Just
your
because they
ass on.
old. What you,
Wow.
50s, dog. The 50s, really?
All right, CJ, what you got? 10 to 1.
All right, bro. I got from 10 going up. Bird, Larry the Legend. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan's going in next. Just Mr. Fundamental. Diesel coming in at 7. I think dude is amazing.
Who's number 8?
I just
Am I
said.
tripping?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
you
so
said-
sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Diesel coming in at 8. My bad.
Okay.
Kobe coming in at 7. Wilt, Magic.
Go ahead. Wilt Magic. Kobe, Wilt Magic.
Yeah. Kobe, Wilt, Magic, Russell, Kareem, MJ, LeBron.
You disrespect.
list.
Hold
Yeah.
on, bruh.
After
What?
everything you was
What?
just talking about the Mamacitas, bro.
I love them. I mean, I can be better than the top 6, bro. What the hell? Like
Kobe top 3 in every's list eternally.
What? Nah,
In
bro,
my
you trying to
heart.
give him that smoke because
not my list.
Nah, son.
yeah.
Nah, son. All right, Devontae.
Whew. Number 10. Me and Lou on the same page with that one. Steph Curry. Steph Curry definitely cracks the top 10, bro. Generational player. Really great player. Number 9, Kevin Durant. I'm gonna upset a lot of people. KD, bro. Don't be getting the walking bucket, the disrespect just because y'all hate him, call him Snake, all that. I've taken my talents to nah, bro. You give him his respect. Kevin Durant, number 9. Number 8, Kareem. Kareem is a big part of Lakers history. Also the Bucks history as well, is correct?
Yes.
I never got to see film on Bucks. I ain't gonna sit here and cap, but I did get to see Lakers. So definitely a big game changer player for the Lakers. Got us a couple of rings, helped us out. But follow that up with number 7 is Wilt Chamberlain. I will give Wilt, bro. My cousin used to tell me some stories, bro, that I just wouldn't even believe about Wilt. And then you would just go watch documentaries and things on Wilt that just showed that he was a dominant player in this league. So that's why I give him that. 6, Larry Bird. Even though I am a Lakers fan, you got to give the man respect for cooking us for numerous of years, but he ain't get the best of us though. Because if you watch the documentary, we got the best of the Boston Celtics. They just all time got more ships and stuff. For number 6, I already said number 6. Number 5, Shaquille O'Neal. I was named after that man. So you got to give the most dominant player in the league. Number 5 for me, he's definitely cracking top 5. Shaquille, at this moment, I feel like he can come to the league and hoop, bro. I'm just saying, he's just a little out of shape. If he's get the running a little bit, Shaq is still dominant, handling the ball, he dunking over him.
I'll be watching him work out on IG.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
y'all
bro,
didn't
he be
watch
trying
his
to get
last
it.
3 seasons in the league if you think that. I'm sorry, bro.
Bro, Shaq didn't care at that point, bro. He did not care.
That's the
He
problem.
got his
did not.
chips. He just wanted to
Yeah,
get
come
his
on,
little
and
money.
dipped. Then what you
Yeah,
mean?
he was on the
I would
player
not be
coach.
available to be an analyst. Come on,
Uh-huh.
bro. He was ready to dip. Number 4, Magic Johnson. One of the best point guards we've ever seen in this game. Changed it for being the size and stature for what he was and was dominant, bro. Like, he's literally helped LeBron to be what he is in his career to be a versatile player. So I definitely got to give Magic his credit to that. Number 3, Kobe. This is one of my first lists in a really long time not having Kobe in my 1 or 2 because Kobe was definitely one of my favorite players growing up. But, you know, you got to – numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Number 2, Michael Jordan. Last Dance did not change my mind. So as much as Last Dance was so hard, bro, and he was such a competitive player, just different, baller, hell, he was a walking bucket himself. MJ just a really great player, a GOAT, in my opinion as well. But number 1 is Mr. LeBron James. There is nothing that he cannot play or do in this game. He is this man has won Defensive Player of the Year before. He has won MVP. He literally has not missed an All-Star. And he is just the greatest player of all time, bro. We will never see another LeBron James. We
Listen,
just won't. You
somebody-
can say all your Zion comparisons all you want, but he ain't there yet, bro. So,
Somebody put Michael Jordan on their number 1 spot before he takes it personally.
Oh, listen. Oh, he will. He told me sit there, and I took that personally.
you know, I took that personally.
But here's what we're going to do. My list is not crafted yet, but I will. But I'm going to put
Oh,
everybody's list
wow.
online. No, because I was just hosting, but now I want to do one. That's it. You know, I haven't did it, but I'm going to put everybody's list online. Y'all get to decide how disrespectful our lists are or not, because I'm sure some people are going to say that. So with that being said, the game is over, and I'm going to tell you who won real quick.
No.
It's looking like Devontae, you came in 3rd place
Oh,
with 17
hate
points.
to see it.
CJ came in 2nd place with 18 points, and that means that my boy Luis,
not Lemon Pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper Lou came in with 20 points for the win. So congratulations to you, Luis, and because you won, you get the final say for the buzzer beater. Is there anything you want to sign off with?
If Trey Lance starts before week 2, maybe even week 3, Rookie of the Year.
Okay. So y'all take a picture, write it down, remember it, and we go see if that is the case. I'm actually hoping that he does start before week 2 so that he can get Rookie of the Year, and then we could do something with Luis. But that is episode 2. We love that y'all stayed with us this whole time. If you are interested in either being on the show or wanting to help out, make sure you hit us on the email fourfoulspodcast at gmail.com, and we will get with you. Until then, you just remember, tune in, don't foul out. We're going to see y'all next time.
Deuces, y'all. Appreciate that.